up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the And Now We Know show. I'm so happy to have you guys all here. And what do you know? I have another special guest. I am your host, Jonnie Kae. If you're just seeing me for the first time, you guys, I have so many artists, so many dope artists for you guys to meet. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. Yeah, it's like a long list of artists, just artists, singers, rappers, engineers, producers. I mean, the list goes on. You guys go and check out everybody. The link is in the description box, and subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe because I have so much more to show you guys. There's so many other dope people. I have a singer today. She's a dope artist. And so you just don't want to miss anything I have coming up. My artist today is Hunnie B. She is so dope. She's such a great artist, you guys. So yeah, you guys sit down, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and get to know her today. Alright, you guys, we are sitting here with the lovely Hunnie B, and I can't wait to interview her today. My first question for you, Hunnie B, is how would you describe your style of music for people who have not heard your music yet?
I think it's more of like an emotional rock type music. I mean, it's I'd say in the genre of pop, but more of it's got a little rocky edge to it. It's more. And then everything I sing about is emotional. So I guess, like, to answer you, I'm more emo rock kind of. Blended with a little bit of just sort of coffee house blend.
I think that's a good description, you guys. That her music is very original, very unique, and it is like a hint of like emo rock definitely in there. For sure. What made you want to become a singer?
Wow. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to sing. And I did in the church choir from the time I was little. So I was, I think I played an angel. It was one of my first roles in singing and in musicals in front of the church choir. So it just always, I think I just always wanted it. I don't know why.
Wow, fearless child. I love it. Some kids are shy. So you were just fearless. Like, you were not.
That's like the opposite of shy. I was like out there.
Wow,
yeah,
that's amazing. Wow. Definitely stay tuned towards the end so you get all of her information, the links to her music, so you guys can check that out. Where are you originally from?
I'm actually from upstate New York, believe it or not. Born and raised. I was born in Utica, New York, and raised north of the city in a little town called Remsen, about 200 people. So that's why I usually say Utica, but north of there.
Oh, so you're from a small town. Interesting.
Yeah, farm girl.
Wow.
I'm actually a farm girl. We had 200 acres and pigs, sheep, geese, horses, cows, everything, gardens.
Wow. That is so cool.
Crunchy chocolate. Yeah.
How did you come up with your stage name, Hunnie B? Because that's a very interesting stage name, B in honey.
So at first it was Hunnie B and the Queens, and I came up with it because one, it was like on the tip of my tongue. It just came out, but I think it was because partially I love honeybees, and I had an apiary with 200 hives on it. So I actually know how to beehive and do the whole suit and smoke deal. So I used to sit by the beehives and, watch them and listen to them hum. And I have a beehive tattoo, so they're close to my heart. So it just made sense. And so it stuck. And even though I didn't put a lot of thought into it, it made sense. So and there it is.
That makes sense. And wow, you can have a tattoo, so like it's very symbolic for you. So now I want to get into also the fact that you took a break from singing for a while. You kind of took a break and you had children. As a woman, you know, we have these periods we have to go through sometimes, and it's not always easy to get back into what we love to do. So like, how was that for you? Taking a break and then coming back in?
A friend kind of pushed me back into it, and I would have to thank her today for it.
What's her name? Shout her out.
Oh, her name's Sherry.
Shout out to Sherry.
But she pushed me to be in a musical and to go audition, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to do this. They wouldn't pick me. And so anyway, I ended up going and I got the lead role, Audrey, in Little Shop of Horrors. And wow. So it went really well. I was blonde back then, believe it or not. So that got me back into it.
Wow, shout out to your friend for telling you about that opportunity. Did you know that you were gonna be the lead?
No, I had no idea. I was really shocked. And it was definitely a full-time something to take on after not being in that musical theater world for so long and having had kids and not being around grown-ups even. So it was like a big shock for me, but it was awesome. I had this amazing voice coach, Lynn Limer, and she was on Broadway previously, and just really she helped coach me. So I was able to, take on the role with a vengeance, and it was sold out every night. It actually led to me meeting Johnny Davis and working on, my career, and that kind of gave me like a little push. So that helped.
Wow.
And then I haven't done musical theater since then, but I've actually considered looking into it.
That's amazing. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. You guys stay tuned. Follow her journey. Follow everything she does. Make sure you follow her today, because you never know. You're going to see her in the top musicals out there going on. And the fact that you have kids too, it's like you're really like showing other women that it can be done. So shout out to your friend. Yeah, because like so many women, they'll think like, I have to be there for my kids. I can't do anything for myself anymore. And you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this.
So my daughter actually does sing, and she's freaking amazing, if I'm gonna say so myself. But she so there are times when mother-daughter opportunities arise, which isn't often, but I'm trying to get her to work on a project with me in the studio. But she's really I don't know, she's a little shy, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, stay tuned for mother-daughter duo. Hopefully we can see that. Hopefully I will look forward to seeing that. That would be amazing. Now I want to get into like your love life a little bit. We want to ask you, is it hard to balance having a love life and like your kids and having a music career, seeking out opportunities all the time? There's like, being a musician is a lot more work than people think. They just see this finished product and they don't see everything we had to do before that to get the opportunity. So is it hard for you to balance being a musician and having a love life?
I'd say in general, yes. Things have shifted. I mean, I was married for up until, I'm still technically married, by the way. So 2 years ago, I became legally separated 2 years ago. So before that, it was easy because I had a partner he's a doctor. So working all the time didn't bother him. And so when I would get into like a creative mode, or I needed to do something for my music career, like he was like, yeah, go for it, just do it. And that was fine. And then being single for the last, like, quote unquote, single for the last couple of years, I found dating in this time period to be like really challenging. one, for time constraints, two, just geographical reasons, and being able to put any focus on myself, much less thinking, like you said, it's like balancing out my kids, the horses, and then to find someone that actually fits like a puzzle piece into that is near impossible. And then, but you know what? It is possible. So if it does, then so be it, you know?
Yes, and it is possible. I asked everyone this question, and there are some people that are musicians in successful relationships right now. They're able to balance it. And then there's others that are like, you know, still in the process of finding that person to understand their lifestyle. So yeah, we have all types on here, and I can relate to both sides. So I know how difficult it is when you're in a relationship and trying to juggle everything, and I know how difficult it is when you're not in a relationship and trying to date and you're juggling everything. It's difficult because we're not normal people. So that's another factor.
Oh, thank God you knew that. Yeah,
yes,
we're not.
You have to understand that part. Like, we're not normal, so it takes a special kind of person to deal with us. So
it really does. It really does, and that's hard to find. So
exactly, you're not going to find that person around the corner every second.
No,
it's going to be somebody like you. That's different.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now I want to get into something else with you. Have you ever came across any haters, and how do you deal with the haters?
Yeah, actually I have. I've dealt with haters. I don't know if it's like related to what I do, but absolutely, I have. So it's someone who knew me or used to know me. I'm guessing, you know, I don't know what brings it on or what has brought it on in the past, but the best way for me to deal with anything negative is to just really put on a protective bubble and remind myself, you know, that I am, you know, not this negativity. I am, you know, a human with positive, good vibes, good energy, and I'm not going to allow that to like come at me like a bullet and hurt me. But I think that just being the best person you can be and not lashing back out at that person, it just makes it worse, and it just shows your worst side, and that's usually ugly. So I try not to do that.
That's a good way to handle it, you guys. Anybody dealing with haters out there, and if you don't have haters, it's because you're not doing anything. So I mean, anybody out there, if you're dealing with haters, take her advice, because that's definitely the way you should deal with it. I want to get into your clothing brand. You have a brand, you have a store, it's a boutique. And it has a unique name. Can you tell us more about your brand?
Oh, so it's called Gossip. And GOSSIP, like gossip. So we are based in Newport, Vermont, and my clothes are primarily, you know, easy to wear. Actually, right now I'm wearing something from my store. But like, you know, not all of it is like nightwear, like that's this body revealing, but everything from like flowy linens, light kind of summer fabrics. I'm really big on textures.
If you're in Vermont, you can just pull up. I mean, hit her up on Instagram first and then tell her that you want to come through. So yeah, that's dope. Can you leave us with some words of motivation to aspiring singers out there who are probably also mothers that are inspired by you today and want to know what kind of tips you can offer them? What would you say to those women?
I would say keep working at your craft and don't give up and put out music. Just do it. I have a studio in my own home. I mean, it's not super expensive. I mean, you can look it up on YouTube or find other ways to do it. But I would encourage, you know, any women that are out there that are thinking of not doing it anymore, or like they can't do it. I just think there's such a new kind of widened venue for music now, and different genres, and more musicians to be heard, especially on Spotify. Just don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. I mean, gosh, I mean, I'm, let's just say I'm in my 40s. So, you know, I waited a long time before I expressed myself and became really happy doing this. So,
yes, she is proof. Hunnie B is proof, you guys. What's your social media for everybody that wants to stalk you right now and is inspired by you?
It's Hunnie B, all one word, HUNNIEB_official. That's my Instagram.
Follow her journey. Ask her any questions you have. She's definitely a good person to speak to about any opera, how to get into musicals, musical theater, Spotify, playlisting. She's your go-to girl. Hit her up. And if you need a singer for something, hit her up. Everything's in the description box below. Hunnie B, I'm so happy you came on my show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jonnie.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
You guys, subscribe to my channel. I have so many more guests, dope just like this. And it's just continuing and continuing and continuing. So I don't know why you haven't subscribed yet. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe today and like this video. Give it 2 thumbs up with your other account, your secret accounts. Put a thumbs up on all of your accounts. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
I'm feeling you.